Thanks for the support as a channel member, Ole Gunnar Kvam. Oh, I know you've already ordered a stadium that will fit 3,000 people in, and that's lovely. You've got to understand we won't be allowed to play in it. We need a 4,000 capacity stadium now, and then if we get promoted again, a 5,000 capacity stadium. You're just going to have to return the one that you've already ordered. We need a bigger one. If you go through with this stadium, we will never be allowed to play in it. I guess you could turn it into a big restaurant, but it would be more helpful for us to have somewhere to play football. Where are we going to be playing football this season, by the way? Hello and welcome to part 23 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our season review and transfer special at the end of season 3. 3 consecutive promotions. We are now a National League side, and we've got money to spend for the first time, but no home, because the Corby Steel Park that we played in last year, just like our own ground, is too small for the league that we're now going to be going into. So we're going to need a new ground this summer. In more ways than one. We need somewhere to play this year and somewhere to play long term. But let's do our season review before we get into transfer plans. So did we only sign 5 players this year? That doesn't feel right. Signing of the season is going to Mamadi Camara, which I don't know. I think between him and Tyler Roberts, I could have seen it go to either of those. Hamilton and Rodriguez also playing lots of games as well, which is awesome. I guess all the other signings came through earlier in the year because they were all the youngsters. So only 5 players. Goodness me. Results-wise, we were supposed to win the league. We did win the league. We haven't had an average home attendance of 301 people. So actually, if it wasn't for league regulations, we could still play at Homewood because we'd still not even be half filling it. But we do need to keep going to ever larger stadiums as we move up the league. Mrs Wearmouth's happy that we got promoted when we were supposed to, which is good stuff. It'd be interesting to see if she's expecting yet another promotion this season coming. And then what's all this? This is money stuff. We're still only on a 1-star reputation. Money stuff has gone up a little bit, but not massively significantly. I'm surprised there's no, just I guess gate receipts don't show on there because that was our big increase in cash this year. We made £1,200 in merchandise this year. Still not selling enough shirts to get the little top 5 of who's selling shirts. And this was our team of the year. So right in goal, back forward Rodriguez, Moya, Davies and Charles. Slam dunk, Bandera, Hamilton and Whitaker in midfield, and then Beerith and Pritchard up front. I think I could probably get on board with that. Obviously Slam dunk we know is leaving this summer, which is very sad. Player awards. Oh, in fact, there you go. I won Manager of the Month for January. Didn't even get Manager of the Year. Ridiculous. But club awards, Harrison Davies collecting even more of them. Won Fans Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. Signing of the season was Camara. Goal of the season went to Roberts. Top goal scorer. I guess that's top league goal scorer is Roberts with 17 goals because Beerith got way more goals than that. Slam dunk most assists with 12. Best average rating. Oh, no, sorry. Both best man of the match and best average rating, of course, is Harrison Davies. Nobody won any of the competition awards, but we have broken some club records this season. So Micah Beerith, 4 goals in a game is a new club record. The thug, Nathan Curry, who we've seen get sent off twice in videos, has set our new record for worst discipline in a season. Harrison Davies has set a new high bar for record appearances, 98 appearances for the club now for him. Hopefully we keep hold of him this summer. That's going to be a major goal. Henry Barton broke his own record for all-time record goal scorer at 59 goals. I expect that to be beaten in the near future. And Russ Eddy is our new youngest ever player, with Slam Dunk setting the record for oldest ever player at only 29, and also oldest goal scorer at 29. That's a record that's going to stand for a long time, because with Slam Dunk and Henry Barton both leaving this summer, I think our oldest player would probably be someone like Harrison Davies, who turned 20 this year. So if he stays with us for another 10 years, he might break that record. Otherwise, both of those records for Slam Dunk will be in place for most of the rest of the save. History in the making. Confirmation that we won the league. We got another nice little trophy. Beautiful stuff. And now we're looking for stadium news on here. We've already had our budgets. Oh, this is our all-time best 11. So all-time best 11 with Wright in goal, Bachelor Ekpiteta in at left-back. We will definitely be trying to bring him back in on loan this summer, get him in at left-back and eventually try and get him back permanently. Moya, Davis and Agungbo. How did he get on playing for Shelbourne? He's still earning a lot of money playing for them. I don't think he's someone we can bring back because he never got the homegrown at club, so he is officially dead to us. Slam Dunk obviously is leaving, but I think he's homegrown at club, so could potentially come back when he's finished on his adventure in Scotland. Davey is probably done now at 20. He's not played a lot of games for us last year, so he might be leaving. Cisse and Whittaker in the rest of the midfield, and then Beereth and Barton up front. And Barton is another one who's done and will probably be leaving this summer. So where do we get the here you go, Club Vision for next season? So we're finally not looking for an automatic promotion. Thank goodness. Although she does want to be in League Two within 2 years. And then building slowly from there by the looks of it, which I guess is a good thing. The only new thing that's gone into the 5-year plan is building a new stadium, which I'm definitely on board with. We definitely need a new stadium. I'm hoping there'll be some news of it somewhere in here. Not that I've seen it yet. Our 2 team leaders are both leaving this summer, Slam Dunk and Henry Barton, which means we need some of these guys to start stepping up. I'm looking at Davis, Beereth and Wright, really. They're probably going to be starters again this coming year. We need them to be stepping up and moving into the highly influential and team leader roles, because losing those 2 is probably going to be significant. End of season team meeting. We are looking to finish in the playoffs. That's what we've just been told to do. So let's go up into the playoffs. They seem happy about that. Send them away for their summer now. We're not going to worry too much about this because obviously we're now reaching the point where it's going to be hard to sign players to come in and replace any of these. It's very much a case of signing players to fill the youth system up with, and we need people to step up. So with Slam Dunk leaving, Eiffel's got to step up and play in that role. There's not really any option. He's got to. And likewise, we're going to be looking for players to step up into some of these other positions as well. End of season break. Notts County want Davis. They're not going to get him for $5,000. They probably will get him for $5,000. That's the really upsetting thing. But are we getting some stadium news? I'll hit continue a couple more times and then I'll go away and wait for some stadium news to come through and bring it back to you when the time comes. There you go. Here is stadium news. Where's Bridge Road? So we've got all the stadium news coming up here. So we've had to pay tax because we made a big profit this year because of Manchester City. We have a new kit sponsorship, $23,000 up from $9.5. That's a good deal. New scouting budget. We'll just carry on scouting the league that we're in because it's all we can afford to do. But here is the new stadium details. We're going to be, this is what I was worried was going to happen. Mrs Wearmouth, we spoke about this. We're spending £2.5 million on a new stadium. We've not had to borrow any money to do it, which I guess is good. We've got a stadium sponsorship and a grant, and I guess Mrs Wearmouth is covering the rest unless it's come out of our bank balance. Goody. But it's a 4,000 capacity stadium that we move into next summer. Just to demonstrate why that's a bad idea. That'll be fine for the National League, but when we go up to League 2, the minimum capacity is 5,000. So what if we get promoted this coming season, we'll move into the new stadium on the 23rd of June and then immediately move out again to ground share for another year because it won't be big enough for the league. It's going to be called Holme Stadium as well, which we need a better name for that. In the meantime, we're going to Bridge Road. Where on earth is Bridge Road? Bridge Road, Histon. Okay, so not a million miles away from Peterborough, I guess, with a capacity of 4,300. We're taking both home under 23s and home under 18s there. I'm taking football to Histon. They'll finally see some good football played in Cambridge. Histon's in Cambridge, isn't it? I think it is. And our youth, oh wow, okay. We've applied to raise our youth category from category 3 to category 2. I wasn't expecting that. I was actually worried we might drop back down to category 4. It's going to cost us £730,000 a year to run this youth academy. I hope Mrs Wearmouth is getting ready to put her hands in her pocket. I'm going to ask for it to be improved even further. Is there anything? I mean, there's not really any point in applying for anything else because we've got no money. I hope she's going to invest some cash to cover that in the near future. What's the projection looking like? Yeah, Mrs Wearmouth, you need to be putting your hands in your pockets. You've spent £2.5 million on a new ground we don't need and won't be able to use. £750,000 on a youth academy that, I mean, I appreciate it being upgraded. 2 seasons ago, we were a category 4. We've now gone up to a category 2. It's good, but we might go out of business if you don't just invest some cash as well, please. Right, we've had our first batch of players in. These are all the Premier League youngsters that were released, that we got the email through about, that we decided to bring in. So we'll just quickly introduce ourselves to these. So this is Bobby Higgins, a 17-year-old striker who's come in from Manchester United. And we've got Joseph Suleiman, who's an 18-year-old Nigerian under-20 international left-back, who's come in from Chelsea. Richie Cantwell is an 18-year-old Irish centre-back, under-19 international, who's come in from Bournemouth. We've then got, if I can find him, Matthew Russell, who's a 17-year-old Bermudian central midfielder or striker who's come in from Manchester City. We've got Tommy Jessup, who's an 18-year-old English striker who's come in from Manchester City as well. And then Stuart Cox, who's an 18-year-old right back or right midfielder who's come in from Liverpool. And he looks like he's actually got some decent potential. If we get 1 or 2 good ones out of this, I consider that a win. Long term, we want like 2 or 3 youngsters breaking into the first team squad every season. I think that's a nice little system to have up and running. We don't need to strike gold with every one of these. Just a few and we're all right. And then Colin Spence is an 18-year-old Irish under-19 international goalkeeper who's come in from Manchester City. The only other transfer news currently is Ben Jackson, who came in last summer, has now left the club. He's gone to play for Basford. He's one of those who came in, didn't quite make the grade, and therefore has moved on. I don't know if you saw that Ola Adebomi left as well. Another one, fits the same mould. Was probably one of those who came in with 3.5 star potential, like a few of those you've just seen. Never made it into the team and moved on, but shows you he was actually quite decent, and shows just how good some of our players are, and that he was actually a decent player for our level, and he just never really got in our team. So that is it for now. We might bring 1 or 2 more in. This guy has just appeared on my scout report, and he's out of contract with Leicester, so if we can get him, that will be a bit of a bonus, but there's unlikely to be much more business now until the 1st of July, when we can pick through the scraps of all the other youngsters who've been released. Boys and girls, we have a decision to make. Kieran Hodgkinson. Fulham have offered us £3.12 million to buy out his 40% sell-on clause. I feel like we have to take it. I know this is probably going to come back and cost us, because if they're offering us this much now, then he's obviously going to end up worth way more than that. But 3 million now has got to be worth more to us than 10 million in 3 years' time, surely. We're selling the clause. Let me know down in the comments if you would have done the same. But that is massive. That now not a terrible deal. He's now gone there. History can be corrected. Kieran Hodgkinson went to Fulham for £3 and a bit million, and all of a sudden our bank balance is looking very pleasant again, and we can probably push for some improved facilities. Now we've got some money, and this is going to be important for development of players further down the line. Let's just continue. Oh, it would be as the season ticks over that I do this, so it's going to be a long continue. I was actually looking to see if we could loan him back, and I noticed that was there, and not turning down £3 million for anybody. I think that's the best way to view it. If they'd have offered us £3 million when he was still here with no sell on, would we have taken it? I think we all would have just bitten their arms off for that. So confirmation that some records have gone through. Who the hell is Marlon Roy? We're just rejecting offers for anybody. I'll let people leave at the end of the contract, but I'm not going to mess around too much with them. So that we have ticked over into the new season now. The increased facilities was rejected. Now we've got some money in the bank, which is nice. That sets us up quite nicely for at least the next year with that nice new youth setup that we've got, which is very positive. In less positive news, this has begun. Now I'm hoping, because of the money that we just got in for Kieran Hodgkinson, we should be in a strong enough position to just reject offers for Nathan Curry all summer long. We also don't want to sell Van der Laan, even though he didn't actually play for us very often anymore. But still, he's still got potential. We probably should play him more. Maybe with Slam Dunk leaving, John Van der Laan, after all this time, will finally get to play for us on the left-hand side of midfield. That'd be a nice little treat for him. But yeah, I'm hoping, because we've got money in the bank, of course, the flip side is the player tries to force through a move. Right, can we... Ah, there you go. Right, I think what we do we put a big asking price on him? We've just got 3 million for Hodgkinson. So let's put the same price on Curry. Let's put it at 3.5. They'd have to break our transfer record that only exists in my head, because it's still officially a £450 transfer. But if they offer 3.5 million for him, then we'll accept it. That will hopefully stop silly little offers coming in for him, theoretically. Here's something exciting. Danny Pritchard, I think, has been the first player we've signed to take homegrown at club status. He's still only 19 years old. We signed him so young. But there you go. Danny Pritchard is now officially a player who, even if he leaves, we'll always be able to sign him back because he's homegrown at club now. There's a few of these that are showing that they're only going to be switching over to homegrown at nation. In fact, it's odd. I think there you go. There's a bunch at the bottom there of all the players we signed are all going to become homegrown at club. But then we've got the two there that are already homegrown at club, but not yet homegrown at nation. It's so complicated. Mamadi Camara is the one. He becomes homegrown in nation next week. I think we'll still have the option to make him homegrown at club as well. We will find out next when that ticks over to show him as homegrown at nation. I think he'll then get a due date for club. I think that's how it works. I think it just shows the one that's going to come up first. I hope we don't have to release him for breaking the rules. That would be sad. In fact, Danny Pritchard wasn't the first signing to get homegrown at club. Ethan Hartshorn, I just went back and checked because he was obviously our first signing, and there was a bit of debate in the comments at the time whether he'd become homegrown at club. I must have missed it go through. Ethan Hartshorn, who was the very first signing, came in as an 18-year-old, has become homegrown homegrown at club. So that's the confirmation that if we sign players when they're 18, they do become trained at club, which is pretty crucial for the rest of the save. We know it works. Hartshorn is homegrown forever. Well, it is a sad day for the club today because today is the day that Slam Dunk leaves. I don't think he's actually left yet. It's not showing it. Oh, no, there you go. That would be him leaving. And we've actually released some players as well at the end of their contract. So Teddy Davey, Henry Barton, the two most notable being released. And we've also released one of our Name in the Game channel members, Connor Roberts. Connor, you're going to have to remind me to keep an eye on where you end up next. If you end up retiring, you get a re-roll of your player. But he was one of the first ones to come through. We'll monitor where he ends up. Like I say, if he continues playing in the save, we'll keep an eye on him. If he ends up just retiring, Connor gets a new player. So we'll keep an eye on that one. We still don't want to let this guy go because everyone wants him, which makes me want to keep him. But there's your confirmation that Slam Dunk at age 30 has left. The fans are furious at selling him. We'll miss having a club icon around. I love the fact that he's a club icon. Duncan Davis, the club icons. I've made it onto favoured personnel. Hooray. I mean, I didn't have a choice. He just left. Can we try and loan him back immediately? I mean, this would be mad if it works. No, we can't loan him back immediately. Of course, Slam Dunk is someone we can go back and re-sign at some point because he's homegrown at club. But for now, we say goodbye to Slam Dunk, and Hartshorn might be going as well. So it's the 1st of July. This is our team report. Let's filter this to, we've got it filtered to 2-star players. So, I mean, there's still the makings of a pretty decent squad there. We've got plenty of decent strikers. Beerif, Whitaker, Nathan Curry can apparently play as a striker. He's probably not going to end up as a striker for us, but apparently he can play there, and we'll continue to play him in midfield. But then we've got Pritchard. Tommy Jessup, he's one of the ones who came in this summer. He came in from Manchester City, so he goes straight into the first team mix. Tyler Roberts and Bobby Higgins as well is another one of the new boys who's just come in. On the left-hand side, we've only got Hamilton and Camera. Obviously, we know we've got Van der Laan around as well. I don't know where Eiffel is. Did Eiffel leave? I know someone was in for him. I don't remember him actually leaving, but maybe he did. Did Eiffel leave? Eiffel's gone. He's gone to Scunthorpe. So Van der Laan probably needs to step up and get involved in there as well, because Hamilton we usually play in the middle and Camera we usually play on the right. So Van der Laan's got to step up and play on the left-hand side of midfield. In centre midfield, we've got Curry, Bandera, Hartshorn's. I mean, maybe there's an argument to keep him. In normal Football Manager land, I let him leave. But he's one of our better central midfielders, so maybe we have to keep him because we can't just go and sign a replacement. We'll have to have a ponder. And then on the right, Whittaker, Camera, still available there. Higgins can play out there as well. Rodriguez and Campbell at left back this year, just like last year. If we can get Bacharach Piteta back on loan, that would be lovely. And then at centre back, we've got Harrison Davis pushing star ratings down for everybody because he's operating at championship level. I'm still taking that with a pinch of salt, but he is head and shoulders above everybody else. And I think if and when he leaves, you'll see everyone else get a big star rating boost. And we've also got Charles, we've got Moyer. Could probably do with one more centre back in there. And then Charles, Curry and Cisse as options at right back, Wright and Beach in goal. So it's an acceptable squad. Now we're just going to do the usual, going and getting as many under 18 trialists in as we can to continue filling up this squad. I don't know what's going to be available out there. Like I say, we are going to try and get Bachelorette Piteta as well. I don't know. We'll also try for, how do you spell his name? Not like that. So can we get him in on loan for the season? It's going to be expensive. I assume he's still much better than what we've got. He is. Right, he's coming home. He's going to be our highest paid player by quite some way, but it's not like we're going to sign a load more players on £1,000 a week contracts this summer. So let's make an offer to bring him in on loan until the end of the season. Can we get Hodgkinson as well? Because that would be awesome if we can. Kieran Hodgkinson, he's wanted on loan by bigger clubs than us, so I think we're probably going to struggle to get him. Yeah, we're not going to get Hodgkinson yet, but the door will always be open to bring him home, and now we're going to bring in our free transfers. Well, now I know what it's like to have my heart broken by a 19-year-old boy. Tom Bacharach Piteta has gone to Carlisle on loan instead because he wants to play in the Football League. We'll get him. He'll come home eventually. They all do. Crystal Palace offering a more sensible amount for Harrison Davies, who we've set a £7.5 million asking price on. Last time we rejected a deal, he asked for a new contract. We are in negotiations on a 5-year deal, which would tie him down for, I think, £700 a week. But he's just been named our club captain as well. He's our best player by a mile. If we can keep him, that would be awesome. I've had a little cry to get over the Bacharach Piteta disappointment, and we have confirmed all of our signings now for the summer. I don't think we're going to bring in anybody else because there's very few 18-year-olds still out there now. But as you can see, we've brought in a bunch more, so let's meet them quickly. We've got Ben Beachy, who's a 17-year-old striker. He comes in from Brighton. Mike Onslow is a 17-year-old German under-19 international goalkeeper. He comes in from Fulham. Wayne Hoyt is an 18-year-old Trinbagonian. I am not very good at these. So he's Trinidad and Tobago. I never knew that people from Trinidad and Tobago were Trinbagonian. Now I do. But he's come in from Tottenham. We've got Michaelis Frangos, who's a Cypriot under-21 international. He's come in from Southampton. Obviously, if you want to see these positions or attributes in any more detail, just pause. Probably could have said that at the start. David Phelan's an 18-year-old Irish midfielder. He came in from Everton. Glenn Berthelsen is an 18-year-old Danish under-21 international with some decent potential, who's come in from Chelsea. Marco Wentin is an 18-year-old Finnish under-21 international with loads of potential. He's come in from Norwich. Matt Moyer, yes, we're going to have me not being able to say Moyer for a little longer. He's an 18-year-old left back. They're all 18. He's come in from Leicester. Steve Ness is a Scottish midfield player who's come in from Burnley. We've got a Scottish player called Ness. If he ends up in the team and doesn't get Lock as a nickname, I ain't doing YouTube right. Liam Reddy is an 18-year-old Irish under-19 international who's come in from Leicester. And then lastly, Jason Mason, which is one of my favourite names. That's up there with Danny Daniel and Slam Dunk. We've got Jason Mason, who's an 18-year-old English left winger, and he's come in from Bournemouth. That, I think, is our squad complete. If we have a look at the ones that are currently making it into the first team, it's pretty much like I've been saying all along. The first team is largely unchanged by all of that. You've got the odd player who might burst in, like Cannon. If we have a look on here, there's no one who's above the 2 stars on there. Koo Wild, who came in just before that batch, he makes it in on the left-hand side. But really, it's largely the same boys. We've now got a long wait because it's a custom database. The league doesn't actually start until October, and this is fixed once we hit the football leagues. This is going to be our last year, hopefully. Look at him assuming he's getting promoted. Hopefully our last year of a late start. But we've got a long summer ahead of us now. We need to get some friendlies in, get a LOLLUJO Cup in. What do the media think of us at the moment? They think we're favourites to go up. And Davis, Hamilton and Beerith are in the media Dream 11. So shows the quality of those three. Maybe Hamilton should be our new left winger then. But now we just wait. And I can't imagine anyone else is going to come in. It's now more about trying to make sure the likes of Davies and Curry don't leave in the 3-month wait we've got until the season starts. It suddenly occurred to me, with all that money in the bank, why don't we turn professional? We've turned professional. We're training every day, boys and girls. It's a game changer. I wish I hadn't just gone through and offered loads of players new contracts on part-time deals. Hopefully they'll now renegotiate onto full-time contracts. Let's get this team selection out of the way. I'm looking for Davis as my first port of call because he's just signed a new part-time contract. Does it just switch over to full-time? Because he's on a lot of money. See, we can't. I've just offered pretty much the whole squad new contracts part-time. So I think, despite the fact we're now full-time, they're still part-time. Which even I'm still part-time. I guess it'll fix itself in time. About 10, 15 minutes later, real time. And now I've just realised that it would change into professional next summer. You lot all already saw that, but now I see it too. Never seen a team be so ungrateful for something so wonderful. Slam Dunk's on the transfer list at Kilmarnock. Went on he signed on the 1st of July, transfer listed 11th of August for 10 grand. I mean, we've got 10 grand. This could be the most unlikely return. He leaves and returns in the same transfer window. It would be remarkable. Thought it was too good to be true. That's my heart broken twice this summer now. Let's see if Beerith can convince him. Oh, is that? No, I thought, no. Right, well, let's try and take him on loan then. We have him on loan. Yes, we'll pay his wages. See if we can get Slam Dunk on loan. That would be just as good. I'll take him on loan. He's 30. He's got no resale value. Broke my heart twice in one summer. The ridiculous return of Slam Dunk is not happening this year. Rochdale are now in for him. Pesky League football again. That's Bachelorette Pateta and Slam Dunk. We've lost to League 2. They're both very much on the shopping list for next summer if we can get promoted again. Oh, because I'm talking to you, I'm doing that on autopilot and I've upset Shay Charles. Oh, can we undo that damage? We undid the damage. Lovely. Well, we have survived the summer without losing any of our key players. Harrison Davies is still here. Nathan Curry is still here. As you can see, they're our captain and vice-captain now. And excitingly as well, we've had somebody do a Mick Powell, Troy Cannon, who came through the same youth team as Kieran Hodgkinson and Nathan Curry. He was one of the 5 players who came through that youth team with 5-star potential. 4 of the others got claimed by Name in the Game channel members. Troy Cannon didn't. He's probably going to be in and around the first team this year. He was out on loan Staines last year, got 13 goals in 39 appearances, but he has spent the summer doing a Mick Powell. And according to star ratings, which we know we always trust the star ratings, if you disregard Nathan Curry as a striker, Cannon is now the second best at the club. Beerif, then Cannon, Whittaker, then Pritchard. Troy Cannon is going to be an important player for us this season, and he is entirely homegrown. He came through our own youth system. Very exciting stuff. But we end the summer with loads more money than we started with, knowing that we've got a new stadium on the way. We've got a shiny new squad of players. A lot of them familiar, but some new names coming through as well. And this is probably going to be the team that starts in tomorrow's episode for the first game of the new season. We're now with squad numbers. How very exciting. Nathan Curry, you're number 2 when it comes time to order your home shirt when they go on sale in a week or two's time. Fingers crossed. No promises on that time scale. But probably we're only a week or 2 away from the shirts going on sale, which is exciting stuff. But we are going to wrap things up there for the transfer special. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.